Welcome back. Welcome back. IBFP Raw, Part 2. See you, Chainsaw. Salute. Miguel Ramos, what's up? What's up? Trev, what's up? Jose, what's up? Unbiased or biased boxing talk. Salute to the whole UGC. Shout out to Billy Robles. Salute, my brothers. Now, today, we got to go in on these fanboys. We got to expose some fanboys. Salute to Oregon. I see you, Moises. I see you. Salute, Eve. Jesus is Lord. Salute. Cannon, salute. Remy, salute. All right, it's time to get these fanboys. Everybody's been wanting us to go in. Hit that like button. Kawane, I see you. Augustine, Christian, salute. It is time for the IBFP Raw Part 2, Episode 2. Let's get in it. And Billy Rollins says, talk about the beef between gym boxing and He Knows His Sport. Salute, Kevin. Now, let me explain to you something about what's going on with this He Knows His Sport clown. This guy's a complete idiot. And let me explain to you why this guy's an idiot. Because he said some of the most fanboy stuff you've ever heard. Salute to Nashville. But let's just break it down because this guy's a clown. So the first thing this guy does, he comes out and states, that before we get anything, he states that Terrence Crawford needs to sit down, and Bob Arum says the negotiations has started, and pretty much all this. Now, salute to Boxing Monster in the building. Now, if that's true, let me ask you this. If that's true, then how does he believe Bob Arum now, but he never believed Bob Arum when he said Spence wasn't wanting to fight Terrence Crawford, when Al Heyman, didn't want to make the fight? He didn't believe it then, but he believes it now. So let's get it. She Knows Her Sport is a clown, and she's about to get exposed. So let's go ahead and break it down. The first thing we got to get on is Errol Spence Jr., Sean Porter. We got to get on these fanboys. But there's one particular fanboy that was talking all this trash about me, and we got to get it. Salute to Atlanta, Georgia. I see you, Jose. Salute, my brother. The first fanboy we got to get into and expose is Dre Specht of Boxing. Dre Specht of Boxing. Now, this guy came on my channel the other day, and he comes in and he tries to call me out. And, if you look at his channel, this guy is absolute trash. Salute Wasi Rahman, one of the brightest boxing minds in the building. Salute Wasi. All the way to the UK. Antonio, I see you, my brother. I see you. So this is why Dre Specht of Boxing is trash. Because he comes out and Dre Specht says, Errol Spence Jr. is a pay-per-view king. Is Errol Spence Jr. How is Errol Spence Jr. a pay-per-view king when the pay-per-view he did and he sold all those numbers was only because of Mikey Garcia? This Sean Porter fight wasn't even supposed to be a pay-per-view. He cried and moaned and forcing a fight that should not be pay-per-view on pay-per-view. That's period. Sean Porter versus Errol Spence should be a Fox Sports fight, no pay-per-view. This should be free. Have we seen Sean Porter fight Keith Thurman for free? Danny Garcia for free? But Errol Spence is a pay-per-view king for fighting Mikey Garcia? And now he's forcing a fight that doesn't deserve to be on pay-per-view. He's a pay-per-view king. This is Dre Specht of Boxing. This guy's a clown. Dre Specht, if you said you're going to show up and show, where are you? Where are you? Let's debate. So then Dre Specht of Boxing said that Manny Pacquiao is cowardly planning to duck Errol Spence Jr. And you want to call me out. How can Manny Pacquiao, a Hall of Famer, Manny Pacquiao, who's already, 8 division world champ, former world champ, and Manny Pacquiao already has secured his legacy, is going to cowardly duck Errol Spence Jr. if they don't fight next? Are you serious? First of all, Manny Pacquiao's legacy is set. Manny Pacquiao and what he's done in the sport is set. Manny Pacquiao is still one of the best welterweights in the game, and fighting Errol Spence or not makes no difference in his career. Period. Manny Pacquiao does not have to fight Errol Spence Jr. Period. Manny don't need to fight Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. needs to fight Terrence Bud Crawford. See, unlike many other people, and what people don't realize is, Manny Pacquiao is fighting. He has fought the Floyd Mayweathers. He's fought, the everybody. He's fought De La Hoya. He's fought Ricky Hatton. Manny Pacquiao has already fought the best. So why would Manny Pacquiao need to fight Errol Spence Jr. to prove anything? He absolutely doesn't. He absolutely doesn't. Manny Pacquiao has to fight no one, but Errol Spence Jr., he needs to fight Terrence Crawford. If he does not fight Terrence Crawford, he is not going to be secured. You got to understand that Manny Pacquiao has won, championships in pretty much every division that he's been in. But Errol Spence Jr. is almost 30 years old with one belt in one division. Why are you saying that Manny Pacquiao needs him? How is he going to duck the pay-per-view king, Errol Spence Jr.? That's an absolute garbage and trash channel, and anybody that listens to him is a clown. And this is how I know who's a clown, because he knows the sport, listens to that garbage, and he recites it back. And you know what? This is why we have so many casuals in the sport, because when you got a guy like he knows the sport reciting this garbage, we got to go ahead and bring it to the light. And we're about to do that right now. Shout out to Richmond. Shout out, to Frisco, the Bay Area. Salute. I see you, JB. D. Jefferson, salute. Rossi Rahman says he knows the casual. I cannot. Absolutely. This is the same man that didn't know who Peter Quillen was. Not only did he look like him, he didn't even know that was his cousin. He didn't even know. This guy's a clown. See, but you know why I realized that she knows her sports really wants, is a big fan of Errol Spence? Because he wants Errol Spence Jr. to have him man down. That's really what it is. He wants him to have him man down. You want Errol Spence to man down you? You want him to come to Alaska and man down you? Come on now. We know you're a casual. Okay, let's bring it back. Let's bring back why he salute to Mac Allen Tejas. Salute Jaime. And this is how you know he's a clown. Because he said that Canelo Alvarez, uses catch weights unfairly. He said, and you know what? So let's examine this. And he applauds Floyd Mayweather. You don't realize that Canelo Alvarez had to do a catch weight with Floyd Mayweather. Let's be honest. Floyd Mayweather forced Canelo Alvarez into a catch weight at 152 pounds when he's a 154-pound champ. See, this is how you know the guy doesn't understand his boxing. And he tried to copy our Ducker series. This is the same guy. Let's be honest and unbiased. Floyd Mayweather Jr. forces catch weights. That's what he does too. He criticized Manny Pacquiao for catch weights, but then he turns around and fights Canelo at a catch weight. And then people turn around and say, oh, if Canelo beats Kovalev, it's not this or it's not that. He's tainted. How is that? How does that even make sense? And Canelo doesn't get the belt if it's at a catch weight. That's how I know it's not going to be a catch weight. These guys are idiots and clowns and look for anybody to discredit top-level fighters. Period. Come on now. Salute. Let's keep it going. Who else should we get? Now, somebody told me that there's some clown channel named Blue Blood or some garbage from the LDBC that keeps bringing up, Jamal Charlo, Jamal Tune-Up Charlo. Now, I got to be honest with you about Jamal Charlo, and they're talking about Canelo's ducking him and he needs to fight him and all this. So let's expose Jamal Charlo, the LDBC fangirls. If anybody from the LDBC is on here, speak up and I will let your voice be heard and you will get exposed. Please speak up. And we don't call him Jamal Charlo. What we call him? Jamal Tune-Up Charlo. Jamal Paper Champ Charlo. Jamal Who Is He Beat Charlo. Stop waiting for Canelo and step into a fight against Demetrius Andre, against Triple G. Step into a fight. Come on, bro. I'm calling out any and every. He knows his sports. You got a chance. Respect of boxing. You got a chance. LDBC. You got a chance. We want all the smoke. Because you're coming in and you're telling me that everybody's ducking Charlo. Well, who is Charlo trying to fight? And see, but if we told you that Charlo needs to join the zone to make the fight happen, you'd say, oh, that's not right. Come on now. You got to be honest and unbiased. At the end of the day, Jamal Tune-Up Charlo, come on now. He's fought nobody. He has to fight somebody. And they say these guys are Terrence Crawford haters. You don't have to diminish what Terrence Crawford's accomplished. to turn around and salute Spence. Spence has all the potential in the world to be a good fighter, but he's scared to take on the top level challenges of a Terrence Bud Crawford. Period. Because if he really wanted that smoke, he wouldn't have called out Manny Pacquiao after Mikey, and he wouldn't have called out Manny Pacquiao, before this Sean Porter fight. Come on, let's be honest and unbiased. Come on, let's be real. Let's be real. Come on now. Come on, let's start getting these fanboys. Hold up, Chris says Blue Blood, 7-8, Best Fight the Best, Fanny. Too many of those channels, bro, too many. And these are what we call the casual boxing channels. The casual channels for the casual fans, for people who don't understand boxing. So I know one person in this chat, I'm not going to name any names, but if you come to me crazy, I'm going to expose you. And I know you're the same person that jumped from channel to channel to channel to channel to channel, saluting these guys, bigging up these guys, when all these guys is putting out garbage and trash, and you're saluting it and you're co-signing. Because don't think I don't see you. Don't think you're not being exposed. And if you want to be put on blast, speak my name disrespectfully and I'm pulling you out. That's what we doing. That's what we doing. Come on, let's keep going. Daniel Jake, hold on, Daniel Jake, you can get exposed? Hold on, what are you saying? What are you saying, Daniel Jakes? Is this coming to, is that meant for me? Are you saying Rocky Fieldings is the champ? Well, what are you saying, Daniel Jakes? Speak up so we can get to the bottom of this. What are you saying, Daniel? Come on, Daniel. I've seen you. See, when I address somebody, people go silent. I need you to come talk to me. Come on now. So what are you saying? What are you saying, Daniel Jake? You trying to call out Canelo? You trying to say he's trash? What are you trying to say? You trying to say he's a cherry picker? What are you trying to say? Speak your truth, Daniel, so I can come at you for real. So I can come at you for real. They already calling you garbage, Daniel. You're making yourself look like garbage. Wash off the trash. Wash off the trash and step up to the plate. Come on now. Come on, Daniel. I'm not playing with you today. Come on. I'm going to put you in timeout with Chocolate Giddy Up. Let me find out you at Chocolate Giddy Up house, chilling and hanging out with He Knows This Sport. Come on now. Let's be real. Let me find out. Okay. See, Daniel didn't disappear. He went into the witness protection. He does not want the smoke. If you want the smoke, step up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. These dudes over here with Chocolate Giddy Up at He Knows his Spence house chilling. And what's with He Knows This Sport? This dude getting on, who puts their face on camera? Oh my God, somebody get this dude a trip to the barbershop. This guy looks homeless. Like, my God, how can I take factual information from a boxing channel and you look homeless? You look like you need to get into a fight. You look like you've been into a fight. You look like you've been man down. Step up to the plate. Let's go. Let's go. If you want it, you can get it. Let's go. Salute to Angel, the upset Rivetta. I see you, my brother. These dudes out here, that's why He Knows This Sports put his donation thing. He's homeless. That's why he ain't got a haircut. He needs a donation. He needs a donation. This is what it is. He needs a donation. David, I see you. He Knows the Sports at the rodeo looking for a donation, chilling with Chocolate Giddy Up. Talking about yeehaw. Salute. I see you, Fernando. Salute. Samuel Shaw. Salute, my brother. Shout out to the whole UGC. Come on, I see you, my brother. We are not taking any prisoner. He knows nothing about boxing. Salute to JB. I think Daniel's in the corner because he's not wanting to talk. I haven't seen him in a minute. After that comment, he took it back. I can't take it easy on no fan, but you don't come to IBFP Raw unless you want the raw talk, unless you want the real talk, unless you want to talk about something real. Come on now. Get on here if you want to speak some facts. Weekend picks. Who do we got? We got Vasil Lomachenko destroying Luke Campbell. I don't see it any other way. I don't see it any other way. Huey Fury versus Alexander Povetkin. I think Fury is underrated. I think Huey Fury has a lot of skills. He had a lot of ups and downs. He has a chance in that Povetkin fight. Come on now. Chin Smoke, I see you. I am not playing with anybody. But Chin Smoke, hold on. Let me question you, Chin Smoke. What side are you on? I mean, just make sure. Let me make sure we good. Because if we not, we can get it going. Loma, Mikey, 140. That's a tough fight, but I'm gonna have to lean towards Loma at this point. Wasi says Povetkin by stoppage. It's gonna be hard. You know, if Fury can step his game up, he can win. But I think it's a close fight. Could go either way. Could go either way. Is Buatsi hyper real? Josh Buatsi got some skills. He got some skills. Joshua Buatsi got some skills, but you know we got to see him in a big step-up fight. We got to see if he's ready. Similar to Anthony Yard, we got to see him in a step-up fight. Buatsi looks like he has the skills, looks like the real deal. We got to see him go out there and put on, because it's almost time. So why are people saying Canelo Alvarez is cherry picking Kovalev? Stupid. Chris Jaime, I see you. Let me explain this. Canelo Alvarez is not cherry picking a world champion 2 divisions higher than him. Sergey Kovalev has the power to do something that other fighters at 160 do not have the power to do, and that's knock out Canelo Alvarez. So that's a dangerous fight for Canelo, regardless of what Kovalev's weaknesses is. That's not a cherry pick. That's a dangerous fight, and Canelo could be in trouble in the wrong situation. But I believe that Canelo Alvarez can exploit his weakness and vulnerabilities to get the win. It's not a cherry pick. And see, because Kovalev just beat 2 undefeated fighters in a row. So what are we talking about? How is that a cherry pick? These fanboys do not understand boxing. Come on now. Hold on. They said, Francisco Moreno says, boxing ego is pushing that narrative. Boxing ego is another one of the homeless guys that lives in his mom's basement begging for money on YouTube and coming to all these casual fans, misleading them. And they're coming out blaming and saying things that don't make any sense. Come on now. Let's be honest and unbiased. Let's be honest and unbiased. Because at the end of the day, Sergey Kovalev could beat. Well, would any other guy from 160 move up to fight Kovalev? Would anybody? Anybody? Hold on. Antonio De Cueva said, I wish you could go back and forth with biased ego. Let me tell you guys this story about ego, me and boxing ego. A lot of people don't understand is that somebody copied me into some message on Twitter or something. I had never spoke to this clown before. Never in life. I looked at the link and it said that Boxing Ego has blocked the IBFP. First of all, I've never even talked to this guy. Never even talked to the guy. This let me know that he's already in his feelings. He's at the rodeo with Chocolate Giddy Up and he knows his sports and the rest of the LDBC, because all of these guys are garbage. They recite garbage. They spit garbage. And anybody that listens to them does not understand the sport of boxing. Don't come to me with any alternative facts that they've given you, because you're going to get exposed. Errol Spence Jr. is not a top 5 pound for pound fighter. If he beats Sean Porter, then he makes his way onto a pound for pound list, in my opinion. Right now, he needs that win. Without it, he's not. Let's be honest and unbiased. Does Sean Porter stand a chance to beat Errol Spence Jr.? Does he stand a chance to beat? Can Sean Porter upset the apple cart? I think Errol Spence wins the fight. Don't get me wrong. I think Errol Spence has enough to do it. But can Sean Porter upset? Is this a blowout fight? Is this a fight where Sean Porter stands no chance? Absolutely not. Sean Porter has a chance to beat him, and he has a chance to beat him because he's doing the things necessary to get it done. He's working on his skills, not his weight. You got to understand, when Errol Spence goes into camp, he's trying to get down in weight. He's trying to get down in weight. When Sean Porter goes into camp, he's working on certain tactics, fundamentals. He's also brought in, Barry Hunter. A lot of people don't know that's Lamont Peterson's trainer. When Lamont Peterson was fighting straight up and down with Errol Spence, was not boxing, was not using his feet, Barry Hunter was in the corner shouting, hey, box this guy, box this guy. What are you doing, Lamont? This is the same guy now that he has in Sean Porter's camp. See, Sean Porter's camp, Kenny Porter, these guys are doing what's necessary to overcome and get to that next level. I believe Sean Porter has the ability to pull off an upset. Willie, I still favor Errol Spence. I don't see enough yet. Sean Porter has to make me a believer on fight night, and he has to win round after round after round. But if it's a close fight, you can bet Sean Porter will get robbed. You can bet your bottom dollar. If it's a close fight. If it's a close fight. Sean Porter has a lot to prove in this fight. Sean Porter has to prove that he has to come in there and take over and control the fight. Sean Porter has to prove that. A lot of people want Sean Porter to win the fight, and let me tell you why they want him to win the fight. They want him to win the fight because they know Sean Porter, he's the type to fight the best in the division. Sean Porter's already fought Keith Thurman, already fought Danny Garcia, and now he's finna fight, Errol Spence Jr. So Sean Porter already fought Yordenis Ugas. By the way, I thought Yordenis Ugas beat Sean Porter, but that's my opinion. My opinion is I thought Yordenis Ugas dropped Sean Porter. They didn't give him the credit for the knockdown. I thought he beat Sean Porter. That's my opinion. He's been in there with the Kell Brook before the Errol Spence. So Sean Porter has been in there with the best welterweight so far. And the only two names that he's missing really are Manny Pacquiao and Terrence Bud Crawford. Sean Porter has an ability, based on his experience, based on the sparring he's getting, has an opportunity to upset this fight. So this could be an upset, but we don't know yet. It's still early to tell. I'm still leaning Spence. Sean Porter has to convince me. Let's keep it going. Sean Porter is going to be a problem on fight night. Do not forget that. Where's Jim Calhoun? Where is Jim Calhoun? Jim Calhoun, please show up. Jim Calhoun, please show up. Daniel Jake, Jim Calhoun, Dre Spector of Boxing. He knows his sports. Chocolate Giddy Up. Where are all the fanboys every day who talk all this trash? Because now I'm not playing. Now I'm not playing. Hold on. One Flyboy. Let's put you on the hot seat. He said, do you give Sean 50-50 like you gave Mikey? Now, let me explain something to you. Let me explain why I gave Mikey 50-50. Because Errol Spence Jr. came into that fight and he boxed on the outside using a high guard, not wanting to engage with Mikey Garcia. And see, because I'm the type of guy that believe that fans will hold a fighter to a certain standard. Errol Spence Jr. is supposed to be man down. Errol Spence is supposed to be known for his power. So if you're known for your power, you're supposed to knock out a guy moving up from 135. So if I'm giving it a 50-50 shot, it's because I believe Mikey's power shots is going to land flush on Spence, and Spence is going to land flush on Mikey. That's an even fight. But no, it didn't happen that way because Spence was in the high guard, afraid to engage, sit in the pocket. Because if you notice the way Spence fought Kell Brook, the way he fought Lamont Peterson, the way he fought Chris Algieri, he did not fight Mikey Garcia that way. Let's be honest and unbiased. He did not want that smoke. Come on. Let's be real. Let's be real. Hold on. Matthew Gross said he clearly can box. You claims he can't. I have never seen Errol Spence box a welterweight. When have you seen Errol Spence Jr. box a welterweight? Matthew, name it. Name it, Matthew. Name it. Come on now. Let's do it. Come on, Matthew. Name one fight. Name one fight he boxed a welterweight and outboxed him like he did Mikey. Name one. Name one. Matthew, I don't hear you. I do not hear you, Matthew. Speak up. Speak up. Speak up. Hold on. One Flyboy said if he did, he would have stopped him. He couldn't stop him because if he could have, he would have. Come on now. We don't play. He don't play. He don't play. Matthew said he doesn't. Spence clearly stated he's going back to bulldozing. Matthew, you sound like you want Spence to bulldoze you. You sound like you want to go to the rodeo with Spence and Chocolate Giddy Up and have him bulldoze you because you're not making sense. How are you going back to bulldozing? But before the fight, you said you were going to knock out Mikey Garcia. You said he's too small. He can't compete. You didn't even drop Mikey Garcia, a guy from 135. What are you talking about? You got to drop him. Nobody moves up and don't get beat up. Rigo versus Loma. Loma didn't take it easy and play. Khan versus Canelo. Canelo didn't play. What are you talking about? When you move up in weight, when Andre Ward moved up to face Sergey Kovalev, Kovalev dropped Andre Ward. What are you talking about? Learn your boxing. Learn your boxing. We're taking casuals to school. Come on now. Come on now. He's told Mikey Garcia time and time again he's getting knocked out. Stop making excuses because it sounds like you want him to bulldoze you, Matthew. Do you want him to bulldoze you? Because that's what it sounds like. Come on now. Give me something. Give me something. Matthew, you don't want to debate me because it'll be man down for real. It'll be man down for real. You don't want to debate me, brother. It don't want, but you got your opportunity now. Name a fact, Matthew. Name a fact because I didn't debunk everything you didn't say. Give me something, Matthew. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting, Matthew. Hold on. Mike Banks, who are you? Spence did have that power. Who are you talking to, Mike? We can address this real quick. We can address this real quick. We can address this real quick. Come on now. Let's go. Matthew, you got bait again. Right now, you sitting on the outside, needing a break. Need a break. Okay, let's go, Mike. What you got to say? Say what you got to say to me, Mike. Come on, Mike. Come on, Mike. Come on now. Unbiased or biased boxing talk said, so he didn't stop him. He wanted to show boxing abilities on a pay-per-view, so he made people pay $75 to watch him go a full 12 rounds with a 135-pounder. See, what you got to understand is unbiased or biased boxing talk is speaking nothing but facts. He's absolutely right. So you mean to tell me on a big pay-per-view, you're going to have people pay $75 and you couldn't even drop a guy from 135. He was embarrassed. And then his fanboys said, oh, he proved he can box. He didn't prove he could box. He proved he could box a guy from 135. He was supposed to sit in the pocket and slaughter Mikey, and he didn't do it because he didn't want to get caught on the chin, because he didn't want to get hit with sub hard. He didn't want that fire. That's really what it was. He didn't want to step into the fire. And all these fanboys coming from all these biased channels coming, then let's get them. Let's go. Let's go. Name me a fact, fanboys. Name me a fact. Because I'm still waiting on one fact. One flyboy. But he knocked out other welterweights. He knocked out a broken Kell Brook. Kell Brook, the only reason that fight was stopped was because Kell Brook couldn't see. Had nothing to do with Errol Spence. And in the first 6 rounds, he was giving Spence all he wanted and some more. This was a weight drain fighter. This is a fighter coming off a knockout loss, and this is a fighter coming off an eye surgery. What are you talking about? Learn the sport of boxing, but it's okay. We're here to take you to school today. You're about to learn something today because you guys don't know. You don't know. Curtis Anderson. Mikey, he says Mikey fought at 140 3 times. Now, look at this, Curtis. Now, what was Mikey's last fight before he fought Errol Spence? Don't worry, I'll wait. You know what? You don't know because you're not a boxing fan. He fought at 135, then moved directly up to 147. See, you have to be honest and unbiased. You don't know. Mike Banks says, you probably believe Manny Pacquiao is all natural. What are you talking about, Mike? This has nothing to do with Manny. You see, that's your problem. You can't stay on topic. Let me find out Mike Banks he knows his sports troll account and he's coming on here because he's scared to face me himself. Let me find out Mike Banks is chocolate giddy up because you're saying things that don't make sense that only a casual will say. Let's be honest and unbiased. Come on now. Antonio De Cueva, salute. You know what it is. Come on now. It's time to expose. Francisco Moreno says, just expose Spence's resume. Okay, let's expose this resume. Chris Algieri. Was he a 140-pounder or was he a true 147-pounder? Come on, let's be real. Lamont Peterson, he was already done. He was cooked. Let's be real. Mike Banks says, he's Mike Banks. Okay, you Mike Banks. He said he boxed at the man, and you saw Mikey was barely hanging. How was Mikey barely hanging on and never touched the canvas from a guy who's supposed to be even bigger by his own admission than a natural 147-pounder? So you're facing a guy that's from 135, and he's barely hanging on with a guy from 130. A guy from 135 is barely hanging on a guy that's supposed to be at 154. What are you talking about? That's actual casual talk. You're actually a casual. You just proved yourself a casual. Give me a fact. What happened to Spence's power? What's happened to, the fight won't go 6 rounds? The moment Spence lays a hand on him, he's going down. Come on now. Come on. What are you talking about? Hold on, Curtis. But you didn't answer my question. Because I can challenge you next time. If you're going to show your half face, show your whole face. I know you one of them LDBC rejects, one of them he knows his sport rejects. Don't come on here playing because you'll get smoked. But let's go ahead and get it, Curtis. If you want Spence to man down you too, I'm sure that's why you on here defending him. Because there's certain things that can't be defended. So at the end of the day, Mikey Garcia, and so let's be honest, Curtis Sanders, the last guy that Mikey Garcia fought before he fought Errol Spence was who? At what weight? See, this is what I'm saying, Curtis. You don't want to show up when it's time. You guys are getting destroyed. Exactly. Easter, 135. Easter at 135, if Mikey Garcia's last fight was at 135, he skipped 140 to go to 147. He's fighting a guy from 135. That's what it is, because he skipped multiple weights to get there. What are you talking about, Curtis Anderson? What are you talking about? These guys are casuals. These guys are casuals. People are trying to criticize Mikey. What are you talking about? Mikey's the one who's coming in here trying to be great. Errol Spence didn't have to take that fight. Hold on. Let's expose Errol Spence for the world to see. I like Errol Spence. I think he's a good guy. I think he's a good fighter. And I think that, he should have the edge on Sean Porter. And I just want to see him fight the best in Terrence Crawford. But is he ducking Terrence Crawford? Absolutely. Man, the reason why I know he's ducking Terrence Crawford, and no one can, if you debate me on he's ducking Terrence Crawford, step up right now and you're going to get bodied. And let me tell you why. This is the one reason why you know he's ducking. Because he said, Terrence Crawford, go get a belt. You ain't did nothing at 147. But Mikey didn't get a belt. Mikey didn't do nothing at 147. He just fought Mikey because Mikey called him out. But Terrence Crawford got a belt, called him out, and is a pay-per-view big money fight. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? So Mikey can call you out. You can take the fight. But when Terrence Crawford calls you out, you're not taking the fight. Ray Hernandez says, Prime Pac-Man versus Spence, who wins? Prime Pac-Man knocks out Errol Spence, hands down. It's not even close. We're talking Prime Manny. We're talking Manny that's going full force. He brutalizes Errol Spence. Let's be real. Let's be real. Danilo Scar. How's he ducking when he fighting Sean Porter? Hold on. Before he signed to fight Sean Porter, why didn't he take the Terrence Crawford fight? Answer me that. You said that Terrence Crawford needed to get a belt, and he got a belt, but he didn't say Mikey needed to get a belt. He didn't say Mikey needed to get a belt. He didn't say that. Explain that to me. Until you can explain to me why Mikey didn't have to get a belt, but Terrence Crawford had to get a belt. When you explain to me that Mikey didn't have to do nothing at 147, but Terrence Crawford had to do everything, explain to me. Explain that to me. Because until you can, you're a fanboy. You've been exposed. Let's keep it going. If anybody got anything to say, let's go. I'm not playing with you boys today. Because you know what? Smash that like button. Because I'm going to tell you this. You get the regular IBFP during the week, but when we go IBFP Raw, I'm not playing. And, Samuel Shaw, Prime Manny slaughters everybody at 147 now. So you got to understand, Prime Manny was no joke. Prime Manny was one of the best fighters we've ever seen. Period. David Fuentes says the whole BBC is hiding under the wrong side of the street umbrella. That's absolutely right. You have to understand the PBC don't want that smoke. Just like when people are jumping on Deontay Wilder right now. Look, is Deontay Wilder a one-punch knockout artist? Absolutely. Is he the worst technical boxer in the history of the sport? Absolutely. Two things, but he's still a very good knockout artist. He can still pretty much beat anyone if he catches them flush. That's factual. But he can also lose into a strong flush shot. Let's be real. De La Rocha, who do I like, McDonald's or Burger King? Let's get it. I'm going to have to pick McDonald's, brother. Burger King don't even come close. Burger King don't even come close. They don't even come close. And you know what? Speaking of McDonald's, he knows the sport. Remember, I want fries with that, brother. I want fries with that. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hold on. Where's Mike Banks? Where's all these clowns? Where's all these dudes that had all this smoke? Wasi Rahman, salute the Smoothie King. The smoothie. He knows this sport, telling you how to whip up smoothies because he don't know ish about boxing. He don't know anything about boxing. That's why he makes a 100-part series on one fighter, because he don't know any other fighter. He don't know anything else. But what he knows the sport does is he sits around and watches the IBFP, learns something, takes it back to his channel and tries to regurgitate it, but in an opposite way. That's really what it is. 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 He knows this sport is going to make as many videos about Errol Spence Jr. as he can. And then, and because he doesn't know anybody else. Because he don't know anybody else. Come on now. Let's keep it going. Who wants some smoke? Who got something to say? Because you can get ether, murked, destroyed, bulldozed, whatever you want to call it right now. Let's go. And the worst part about he knows the sport is that, is that you keep putting my name in your mouth. Keep my name out of your mouth. I'm not Chocolate Giddy Up. That's your boy. That you said at the rodeo with Chocolate Giddy. You don't speak to me. You don't speak to me. Because if you speak to me, you're getting destroyed. Now, we got to be honest. We got to be honest. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Let's destroy anybody else. Who else needs to be destroyed? Who else needs to be destroyed? Who else needs to be destroyed? Put them on blast right now so I can get them. Who needs to be destroyed? Because I'm ready to get them right now. Who is it? I'm waiting on all the smoke. Salute to the whole UGC. Dante's Bias Nation. Now, let me explain to you something about Dante's Bias Nation. This is the same Bias Nation that went into hiding when Jamal Charlo got the crap beat out of him by Matt Korboff. This is the same, Dante's Bias Nation when Jermell Charlo lost to Tony Harrison. This is the same Dante's Bias Nation. Fanny Boxing. This guy looks like Mr. Peanut. And so I don't know why anybody can even take this guy seriously. This guy literally looks like Mr. Peanut. I do not do like, come on. You can't come on here looking like a cornball and expect anybody to take you serious. Let's keep it going. He says 7'8". 7'8". I think that's the leader of the garbage LDVC. And he's the one where they get all this crap. And you got to be honest and unbiased. Let 7'8", Fanny, he knows this sport, Dante, Boxing Eagle, anybody that's spewing lies and regurgitated fanboy nonsense, come get it. Curtis Anderson said Mikey Garcia got destroyed. No, Curtis Anderson. Mikey Garcia didn't get destroyed. He got outboxed. Getting destroyed is getting knocked out and beaten to a pulp. Curtis Anderson, you don't know boxing. Getting destroyed is getting laid out on your back and put to sleep. You don't know boxing. Let's keep it going because you need to learn boxing. All these channels are shocking. He says, best fight the best is worse. Best fight the best challenged me at some point, and I offered him an opportunity to get on. It didn't happen. He didn't show up. Something like that happened. But I give him another opportunity. Best fight the best. Anytime you want to come on IBFP Raw, you can get it. But if you disrespect me, we're going to have another conversation. Because I know how you like to raise your voice. And you don't do that on IBFP Raw. That don't happen here. Let's keep it going. This is what I'm talking, unbiased or biased boxing talk. Getting destroyed is Brook versus Triple G. Now, that was destruction. This is when a guy couldn't do anything after the Triple G fight. That is destruction. That is destruction. That is destruction. JB, Kell Brook is a god to Spence fanboys. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Let's go. Who else wants some? Because I am not playing. I am not playing with anybody. Who else? Hold on, Mike Banks. Let's get him. Let's get him. Watch it. JB, we got a Mike Banks alert. He says, why give Crawford a pass for being a bum beater, but not Errol? First of all, Errol is how many division world champion? 1. Has he ever unified? No. Terrence Crawford has unified titles, become undisputed, won titles in multiple divisions, beat and won a world championship in his first fight at welterweight. But you're calling him a bum beater when he's calling for all of the smoke at 147. What are you talking about, Mike Banks? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Mike Banks, I think you need to save those comments and think about them in yourself. Watch the reminder addresses you, Mike, and he says Crawford has undefeated world champions on his record and is a lineal champ in 2 divisions. Mike Banks, you've been slaughtered. You've been slaughtered. You've been slaughtered. You can take the picture off your profile now. Come on now. Salute to D. Jefferson, speaking facts. He said, R.I.P. Mike Banks. Mike Banks, you didn't stand a chance getting on here with this nonsense. See, Mike Banks thought he was going to come in here with this LDBC garbage, and he thought he was going to recite it back to us, and then he got exposed. That's what's happened. Curtis Anderson says, I've been involved in boxing for 45 years. I've trained fighters and fought as an amateur. I'll destroy you. I'm inviting you to a debate. Curtis Anderson, let me explain something to you. It don't make sense for you to be involved in boxing for 45 years and still be a casual. That makes no, how are you a casual and you've been involved in boxing for 45 years? You've trained fighters. Obviously, they're garbage if you're on my chat. Come on now. Come on, Curtis Anderson. If you challenge me to a debate, you got to have some substance. I have not heard one substantive thing that you've said that I said, you know what? You know what, Curtis Anderson? I can't debate that. Let's go. No, you haven't. Give me a fact, Curtis. Give me a fact, Curtis. How you still a casual after 45 years? Explain that. Explain that. We're not playing with you. You got to get off of that LDBC crack and come to the light, my brother. That's all I'm doing is preaching truth. See, because these guys must have heard about this. These guys must have heard about me, know that I'm out here smoking these clowns. And you know what? And if Curtis Anderson, if you're a sub of mine, I appreciate you for subbing. And if you unsubscribe, I understand, because I understand you can't take the truth. You can't handle the truth. I get it, because you're reciting garbage. Let's keep it going. Who else wants some? Who else needs to be called out? Who else needs to get the smoke? Let's go. Who else is saying nonsense? Do not, you don't talk bad on top level, elite level fighters who's wanting to fight the best. Hold on. Mike Banks, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? He said Crawford fighting Green Machine. Is that the fight we want? Hold on, Mike Banks. Oh my God, you cannot be this stupid. You cannot be this stupid. Is that the fight we want? What are you talking about, Mike? Terrence Crawford's been trying to fight Errol Spence before Sean Porter. Of course that's not the fight we want. That's his mandatory, and he's going to take it because Errol Spence wasn't man enough to step up to the plate. What are you talking about? Is that the fight we want? Are you crazy? Mike Banks, come on up to the plate. I'm ready to give you your Casual Boxing Fan of the Year award. You finally won it. You won it. The Boxing Fan of the Year award. Come on. Come on. I love Top Rank, so I love Top Rank because I'm telling you the truth. Come on, Mike Banks. So the truth means that I love Top Rank. What are you talking about? Bob Arum is a crook, but he's trying to make the Crawford versus Spence fight. Why? Because he knows Crawford's body's Spence. That's why he's trying to make the fight. Let's be real, Mike. Come on now. Let's go. Come on now. That's where Mike went. He was Googling information to try to figure out who Terrence Crawford was fighting and figure out he can debate me. Get out of here, man. Come on now, Mike. I tell you what we'll do, Mike. I tell you what we'll do. Mike, I'm going to give you a week to go study boxing. You can go back and listen to all my videos, get caught up on all the facts, educate yourself, then come back and try to debate me. Because at this point, you're making yourself look dumber and dumber. You say, is that the fight we want? Porter is better than Green Machine, period. There would be no Porter or Green Machine if Spence would have fought Crawford. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Unbiased says, was Carlos Ocampo the fight we wanted, Mike Banks? Because you understand that was Spence's mandatory, and that was a domestic level mandatory. At least Green Machine is a much better, more respected fighter. Let's be real. Let's be real. These guys right here, see, this is what happens when you have LDBC, biased media, new media. He knows his sport. The Smoothie King, McDonald's workers, everybody coming out here talking about boxing, and they're telling these casual fans all these different things, and they don't know anything about boxing themselves. Then you get the Mike Banks. Then you get these guys on here don't know anything about boxing, trying to say that Terrence Bud Crawford is bum bashing. If somebody ever, he knows the sports that Terrence Crawford is ducking Kell Brook. What is Kell Brook rated? Is Kell Brook number one? Is the number one contender for Terrence Crawford's belt? No. Is he the mandatory? No. Is Kell Brook a big money payday for Terrence Crawford? No. Is Kell Brook had done anything significant since losing to Errol Spence? No, he has not. Zarafa is not a good fight. What are you talking about? And if Terrence Bud Crawford goes in and stops Kell Brook, he would not get any credit for it because most people view Kell Brook as a damaged fighter already. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? So if we see that Kell Brook's done already, why would you want Terrence Crawford to go in there and slaughter him after he's already been slaughtered? Efren said, exposed boxing ego. We have some of his fanboy. If you're a boxing ego fanboy, stand up so I can get you out. Stand up so I can get you out so I can go in. Come on now. Because we know if Sean Porter beats Errol Spence, we know we get that Crawford fight. We know we get that. We know we get that. Wasi Rahman, nothing but facts. Triple G ended Kell Brook's career. He's no better than Amir Khan at this point. What's the point of the Kell Brook fight? Fight your mandatory so you'll be open to any big fight opportunity. Maybe you can pay a Danny Garcia an extremely amount of money to come fight you. Maybe you can pull that off. Maybe. But if you don't get your mandatory out the way, you're going to have that lingering. You got to get it done. And the fact that Kell Brook and Amir Khan is not happening is a shame on both of their part. Amir Khan and Kell Brook are both trash for not making that fight happen, period. He says Kell Brook is bigger than Green Machine. What are you talking about, Mike? What are you talking about? Mike Banks, go study boxing and then come back and talk to me, bro, because you don't know what you're talking about. You don't even know what you're talking about. D. Jefferson, that's nothing but a fact. Khan might even beat Kell Brook at this point. Zarafa almost did. That's what I'm saying. Like, you get nothing for that. You get nothing for that. What are you talking about? Come on now. Anybody else got something to say, step up to the plate so you can get bodied right now. If you got something else to say, step up to the plate so you can get bodied right now. This is episode 2, IBFP Raw. If you want me to do it again, if you want episode 3, you want it to be bigger, you want it to be better, and you want another guest, we can bring somebody on. Just get one of these guys to step in the ring with me, and I will body them. Bring them on. Bring them on. Go tell these biased YouTubers, say, hey, IBFP is calling you out. Come be on IBFP Raw Part 3. I'll accommodate them. I'll give them the phone number so they can call me. I'll put them on Skype, whatever they need. Just tell me, and I'll do it to accommodate them so we can debate and I can expose them. Because episode 3, I'm looking for an opponent. I was looking for an opponent. Boxing Monster said, get Goodfellas Sports. You know, what's odd about Goodfellas Sports TV is that, you know, Goodfellas Sports tried to sneak diss me one time, right? And so then when he sneak dissed me, he turned around and started following me on Twitter. So I don't even understand. So he must be a fan. He must be a fan. But if Goodfellas Sports TV wants some smoke, go tell him, hey, IBFP will take you. And if he wants some smoke, tell him we can get it in. On any fighter, any topic, we'll debate. I'll do it. IBFP Raw, episode 3. Let's go. Let's get it. Salute, guys. I'm checking out. Stay tuned for IBFP episode 3 coming soon. Once again, it's IBFP. Please share, like, and you must absolutely subscribe.